Happy Thursday. You're watching Kathryn Scraps live. I'm Kathryn. We're working on the Halloween project. This is the evening show on October 22nd. I'm going to say hi to everyone, but before I do that, I have a public service announcement. And that is that, as you may have noticed by the abrupt ending of last week's show, I am having problems with my video card. It is slowly dying. It's not dead, but it is slowly dying. Anytime it's used, especially if it's used heavily, it runs the risk of crashing, which it's been doing more and more frequently. This show is very labor intensive on the graphics card, so there is a strong probability that it will crash again tonight like it did last week and the week before that. So what does that mean? What that means is I'm going to do recording breaks approximately every 30 minutes. That way, if something does happen, it's a shorter amount of video that's affected. I am able to recover video that is in progress when there is a crash, but it will be lower quality. So if, like, the video after this one seems like it was filmed in the early 2000s, that is why that happens. But at least I am able to recover it if there is a crash. And I have ordered a new graphics card. We are trying to get one, but like many things during this time, they are out of stock everywhere, hard to get, on back order, not coming in until November, etc., etc. So the earliest that this will be resolved, the earliest show we will have where we won't have to do this will be November 12th. So this is the new normal. It's going to be a while. You're going to hear this disclaimer a lot. Okay? So you're going to hear it at the start of every video until at least November 12th. So sorry about that. We are doing everything we can, but there's not a lot that we can do. So we're at the mercy of the computer gods. Okay, so greetings everyone. Happy Thursday. Hello to Bev, who was first to chat. She beat me. And to Kathryn, happy Thursday. Hello May and Kathleen. Good evening to Deb and Kimberly Brown. Emma, hello Glitter Gang. Judy Webb says, greetings, missed the afternoon gathering. Book club is today or next Thursday? It's next Thursday. Next Thursday. You did not miss it. You did not miss it. Happy Thursday to Carol Joan and to Vicky and to Mary. Fran says, hello, my faves, the Glitter Gang. Carol is not in a cornfield. Helen says, may the gods forever be in our favor. Yes, it's the Hunger Games. It's the Hunger Games. The video card is President Snow, and we'll just see what happens. Candy says, good evening, everyone. Pat says, hi, Kathryn and everyone. I posted, if you can read this, you are not in a cornfield. So if you don't see that anywhere on your screen, you may be in a cornfield and you just need to refresh. Let's see. Melanie says, hi, happy Thursday. Let's see. Deb, Bev, Donna, I'm sure other Donna, all the Donnas. Welcome to all the Donnas. Donna's computer's being very slow. I hope it hasn't caught whatever is making my computer sassy. Deb says, thank you for saving me from having to listen to. There's nothing going on tonight other than this show. I don't know what Deb's husband is watching, but if he's not watching this, then he's missing the coolest game in town. Judy asked, was it the card and not the camera? No, it's actually they are both dying at the same time. Based on the way the camera died, we don't think it was the camera because the camera just doesn't work at all, whereas the video card works sometimes, and when it is working, it works normally, and then it just dies. So whereas the camera just died and then never came back, we were able to get the video card to come back. So unless the video card somehow killed the camera, which that's not how that works at all, then it was two problems that happened at the same time. So that's fun. That's super fun. Let's see. Yeah, if YouTube is slow, that is probably the reason, as Candy says, if you're having any trouble with YouTube tonight. There are things going on that don't matter, that are outside of my control. I would stop them if I could, but I can't. So we'll just try to ignore them, and hopefully YouTube will be okay. Hopefully YouTube will be okay. All right, so let's go. So where we left off was we've decorated the outside of this folder, which is the front cover of our album. And we've now decorated the waterfall as well. So we have this beautiful waterfall that showcases all kinds of patterns from the collection. Gives you room for 17 4x6 photos, no cropping required. Plus, we have two beautiful little vignettes. We have a spooky one and a cuter one, a spoopy one, as the kids say. So what we're going to be doing in this episode is we're going to be decorating this and this, try and make a cool scene. And then we'll probably do a recording break, and then we need to do the construction for the back, I think, is where we'll go from here. So that's the plan. And then just to make this a little easier to work on tonight, I'm going to open it up and work on it flat, because that way I don't have to work on this like flopping all around in the breeze. So there we go. Gonna open it up. Now, one thing we could do is we could put an enlargement here if we wanted to do a 5 1/4 by 7 1/4 inch mat for a 5x7 photo. But honestly, I don't think photos are going to be a problem in this album, just based on we've done one element and we already have 17 photos in the book. So my thought instead is maybe we try and find a paper that's like too pretty to cover or too pretty to use, and we do something with that. And that is kind of my thought. That is my thought. So let's see what we've got. See if there's anything. Ooh, we do have bats. Maybe we could do something with the bats. We could also probably do something with this. Well, no. Let's do something with the bats. Let's just go with our first instincts. And then let's find some embellishments. Embellishments. Maybe do some scenes. Do I think it'll take more than 48 sheets of paper? Probably not, because once we get inside it, we have to be pretty thin. Maybe you'll be okay with 48, I think, probably. I'm changing my mind. That seems a little dingy. You know, like this is much more orange and bright. So this isn't the right paper for this moment, I don't think. Let me do something else. I can change my mind. I have this one that might work better. There aren't as many like scenes in this one as there are in some others. Okay. All right, so we've got that. And let's think. I kind of want to tear this across the middle and put something in between the two sides. And the reason why I want to do that is because I want to have this smoke at the top and at the bottom. And so I have to cut out the middle. And if I tear it, then what I cut out of the middle like will be naturally gone. You know what I mean? So I just need to find something to put in the middle, like what would be exposed. And you see how we have all this constellation stuff down here? I'm thinking this galaxy. So it's almost like we're doing all these spells and stuff and we're seeing the secrets of the universe come through. That's appealing to me. And then we can kind of decorate. So let's see. Ultimately, we need to be, I forget what this is. Okay, it's 10 3/4. So we need to end up at 10 1/2. It's the size that we need. So how do I want to do this? I'm just going to rip it. Okay. So when you rip, if you want to see the white, you know, whatever hand you rip with, the white will be on what's left. So if I want the white to show, then I have to turn it like this and rip with like this. Okay. So that's what, if you want white to show, this is just any time you tear. If you want white to show, what you do is you've got to tear like this. All right. I'm probably going to make that black, I think. And so same thing down here. If I want the white to show here, I've got to do it like that. All right. So this is roughly what we're going to get. Secrets of the universe exposed. All right. I'm going to grab all right. Not liking that as much as I thought I might. It's not quite what I want. I think I might need to just do it like this. See if I don't want it to be quite so saturated as I'm getting from the marker, but I don't want it to be like totally washed out either. If this ends up looking like crap, I can always just get rid of it. By tearing it again. Yeah, I don't like it. I'm gonna just tear it. So, which is okay. We'll just ink it. What am I looking for? Baby wipe. All right. That's fine. We'll just experiment. Okay. All right. So, let's back up. Let me get this off my desk. We know this needs to be 10.5 by, looks like it needs to be 10.5 by 7.25. That's our final dimension for this. You're welcome, Donna. Okay, so new plan. We're gonna put some black cardstock. So when the edge rolls over, it's black. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this to the black cardstock, and we're going to kind of roll the black cardstock up and over it. And I think that'll give me that kind of black edge that I wanted without having to dye a white edge black. Well, mat didn't stay clean very long. And then I'm going to wet the mat with my baby wipe. Or wet the black cardstock with my baby wipe. I'm going to tear it. And then we're going to just roll everything over. Okay. Just gonna and I think the black and white is actually okay, where there's some white showing. I think that's fine. So we're in good shape. So what did I say this needed to be? Did I say 7 1/4? I'm just gonna measure it. I put it on the floor, so, you know, great. Yeah, 7 1/4, and the other side is 3 1/4. So 7 1/4, 3 1/4, and then total, again, 10 1/2. So 7 1/4 by 10 1/2, and 3 1/4 by 10 1/2. Okay, I'm gonna make my first cuts. Okay, so here's my 7 1/4 inch piece. And I need a 3 1/4 inch piece now. Okay. All right, so they're like so. And then same thing up here. I'm just gonna trim a little bit off so it's not as thick, and then gonna wet it again, and then we'll just start rolling it over. gonna just burnish it a little bit so it wants to stay where I put it. I'm not burnishing it hard. I'm not trying to make it look crisp. Okay. So 7 1/4 by 10 1/2. So this side looks like this. Okay. And this side looks like this. All right. Okay, so let's see what we've got in embellishments that maybe we want to tuck in and around. Like I might put this book right here. Yes, I'm printing out my papers and this is a paperweight paper versus a cardstock weight paper. I like the paperweight versus the cardstock weight because it's so much thinner when you mat. It doesn't take up as much thickness, or it doesn't take up as much space / it's not as thick. Okay, see how the leaves are orange? I'm gonna make these leaves orange. I don't quite know how this got covered in glitter, but it did at some point. Yeah, I mean, kind of like copier paper. It's more, it's nicer than copier paper. It's not quite as, it's not quite as thin as copier paper, so it's in between. So what I have here is a damp brush, and then I just put a little wild honey ink on a stamping block, and I'm just picking it up and painting the ink on. That's all. Yeah, because we're just trying to give it a little bit of color. All right. And then just wipe this off with your baby wipes so you don't get that ink on your fingers later. And don't know how my wild honey got contaminated with glitter, but it's fine, so whatever. Not gonna worry about it. All right, so we'll cut these 3 out. It wanted to be prettier. It's like, I don't want to be honey, I want to be glitter. All right. Okay. So now I'm just going to fill in these gaps with just a little strip of 1/4 inch tape. And it'll probably be plenty. Did Mr. Lifeguard come in here and tell you not to talk about the D word? Yeah, chat might be rough tonight due to the special live performance of Grumpy Old Men. I know a lot of people wanted to see that. Okay. So we've got one down. Yeah, they're taped already. That way they're like just like a sticker and we don't have to try and put tape on a funny shape. Hi, Letitia. How are you? Welcome to our spooky Halloween project. I'm cutting out some embellishments from my paper to put on this page. I'm trying to hurry so I can get this side of the page assembled and get everything glued down, and then we'll be all good to do a recording break. But I'd like to get this all on one video if I can. Hopefully that decision will not be my downfall. Tiny, what are you doing over there? Are you sulking? Are you sulking? Aw, why don't you get in your house? Why are you on the carpet? You look so sad. I think she's grumpy, everyone. She's just sitting in the middle of the floor. She's not on the desk asking for pets. She's not in her little house that she likes to sleep in. She's just grumpily sleeping by a box on the floor. Thank you, Kimberly. My biggest scissor trick is to move the thing you're holding, like the bottle, and not your scissors. Keep your scissor hand mostly straight, and that'll help you a lot. All right, look how beautiful. It looks awesome. Okay, so now I just need to ink everything and put it back exactly the way that I found it. Before I do that, let me attach all the page pieces. So I'm going to ink the edges of these, because I don't want any of the white from my printer paper to show. See how... I don't think we need these to be pockets. Maybe we'll just have them be flat. I mean, you could tuck stuff in if you wanted to. But I think I'll leave these flat, because I think we have enough room with the waterfall, but we'll put a pocket somewhere else. But yeah, it would be a cute place to tuck some tags if you wanted to. But I think I want to keep it pretty flat, because we already have the waterfall and I want the waterfall to have room to grow. And I'm doing both layers with the ink because I don't want any white to show through at all. And once I'm done inking everything, before I glue it together, I'm just going to make sure that these are the right size because I'm paranoid. Hi. Hi. Are you being a creep? Yeah? You're being such a creep right now, Tiny Cat. This just does not look right to me, but it's right. So, okay. It's your month. Don't you want to show off? Poor Fran. You have a mega chunk black cat, so the opposite of Tiny Cat. Kitty's a chunker, so. Okay. So now Kitty is on a diet and getting thinner. That's true. That's true. So I kind of like it like this better. Maybe, let me go just make sure. No, I don't think I do actually. I think I like it like this better. Yeah. Okay, so when you have something like this, where it's all layered like this, you start at the back. That's the first one you put down. The one that's farthest back. So rather than like take everything off, just kind of leave everything where it's going to be in the final position. And then you can slide the furthest back one in. And then the one that goes on top of that, do that next. And then this one. And now this one can be done last because it's the one that's on top. And now we have our pattern paper. So I'm just going to flip it over and burnish it. Get everybody stuck down in there. And then we can put tape on the back. And we'll put tape on the back of this and stick it to this. And then with this part, I'm just going to try and kind of go across at the lowest point. It doesn't really matter if it's not perfect. Okay. All right, so the paper is coming together. So now we just need to do the same with the top. All right. So same thing. At the sides. And then just kind of find the lowest point and go across from there. And then do the bottom. Thank you, Ella. I'm happy with how it's turning out. It does look very magical, I think. Very much like you're casting a spell. All right, last one. Am I the slowest decorator on all of YouTube? Is that the case? Because that's how it feels sometimes. But then stuff ends up looking really cute. So it's kind of like, you know, am I supposed to do less? It's hard. It's hard. No, that's you? Okay. Not when you put on double time for rewatches. Hi, Lori. That's probably the right thing to do. Yeah, Tiny Cat is sulking because I kicked her out during this afternoon's show, so now I have to be punished. Okay, so everything's got tape now. You don't see how I do it without a TV show or a movie in the background? You mean how I don't get bored during these shows? There's so many things that I have to pay attention to when I'm doing these shows. I have to watch the chat. I have to watch the stream on YouTube's end. I have to watch the stream in my monitor here to make sure I'm always in frame. I have to kill these ants or fruit flies or whatever they are. Got to chat with you guys. I have so many things to do. So many things. And then it's funny because my dad has, he's a trainer by profession, and he's doing, he has to do Zoom training. Well, they're not using Zoom. They're using some Adobe Connect maybe. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Anyway, that's what they're using now. And so he had to learn it, and he was talking about how he just now is fully now realizing how difficult my job is now that he has to teach online. Yeah, we have to pray, keep praying silently in the quiet of our hearts to make it to the end of the segment. Yeah, that's another, I got to keep all my toes and fingers crossed, you know. Now, when you aren't here, I do watch TV. I do watch TV. Or listen to books. Do I do stuff without you? I mean, not really. Not that often. But I've got to test stuff for the, not for this, like when I'm winging it, but when I'm designing. I often have to make things multiple times. All right, ready to go in the book. Our masterpiece. So we were casting a spell and we tore a hole in the space-time. Oops. Oopsies. Oopsies. Don't do that. Don't do that. Oh, and isn't it beautiful? We've got the smoke at the top that I wanted. We've got all our little potions and spell components. We've got our beautiful waterfall that holds 17 4x6 photos. Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. All right, now just have to stick these down because they're complete already. Yeah, this is one of my, well, this is probably the best Halloween project I've ever made. I'm trying to think of a Halloween project better than this one. And, you know, the good thing about it is that yes, it's a Halloween project, but there's nothing about the structure of the album that limits you to Halloween. Okay, so all you have to do is just use a different paper, and it's a wedding album. 1, 2, 3 times around, and then I'm going to shorten this string just a touch. Feeding Tiny Cat. Aw, she's so happy. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do a recording break here, and then in the second half of the show, we will do the construction of the back of the album. So you all who are watching live, nothing will change for you, just hang tight. But if you're watching a recording, just go to the next video. Thanks so much for watching, everyone, and I'll see you in the next part.